Hi guys, I just wanted to go over everybody's schedule before school starts, and since I won't see you until the second week of school, I'd love to come drop off the folders next week and just re-go through it with you and make sure A plus is set up on the girls' computers correctly. So let me know what time works for you. We'll start with Aslan. So in A plus, you get apples when you complete something. To get an apple, well, when they log in, they go to the lesson. They have to spend 3 minutes in the lesson, and this goes for all three girls. 3 minutes in the lesson, and then it will unlock their practice test. And they can take the practice test and go back into the lesson as many times as they want. And then they go into the mastery test. And in order to earn an apple, they have to score an 80% or better to get an apple, and they have 3 attempts to get that apple. If they don't get the apple on the first time, they can go back into the practice test, go back into the lesson, and I will be made aware when I do my weekly grading if they got an apple or not, and if they were close. And after 3 attempts, I can decide to give them more attempts or just call it done. So that's how A plus works. A plus has 4 legs to its English language arts. You have English building vocabulary, language usage, reading, and writing. And Epic suggests you work in this order. So she'll do all of her building vocabulary, then she'll move on to language usage, then she'll do reading, and then she'll do writing. So she needs to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apples a week in English language arts, 2 apples a week in A plus for math. She'll have science and social studies. She won't get a grade for these with Epic until next year, but they're in there and she's supposed to be exposed to them. And the students pretty like A plus for that. So she'll need 2 science and 2 social studies. I will, in the folder, give you her weekly spelling list along with the activities she can do with her spelling. Book reports. I would like a book report turned in October, January, March, and May. And we want to read on grade level work. They should be reading at least 20 minutes a day. I know you girls love to read. So and in that folder, they'll also have ideas for book reports. And you can pretty much do anything, but I put some ideas in there. And she's still required to do Success Maker. Each day, it's 20 minutes. So 10 minutes in math and 10 minutes in reading. And it won't let her do more than that, or about an hour a week. So that's one of Epic's requirements. Reading, which is required, and you already do. This year I'm adding in extra math, and it's only 5 minutes a day, and I'll give you that login information in your folder. And they log in, it only lets them do 5 minutes, and it's just to practice mastery in addition, subtraction, and then eventually multiplication and division. Okay, this year I also added in academic vocabulary, and so they'll each have an academic vocabulary list in their folder, and each week I want them to pick an academic vocabulary word from math, reading, language arts, science, and social studies. And I have a form that is available on my website that I'll share with you, and I'll also include a couple in the folder. That way you can use, and you can scan those and send them to me every week, or when I see you every 3 weeks, I'll check them in. If they want to do Brain Pop, that's extra credit. And they can email it to me, and I can give them extra credit for that. Sight words, I don't know if Aslan needs to do sight words. She's a great reader, but I just put that on here. And then handwriting, and that's about 10 minutes per day. We can get a handwriting without tears workbook if you guys would like to do that. I kind of thought about that, or journals. But then their spelling, if they're writing their spelling every day, that counts too. So that is Aslan. Marley's is pretty much the same thing. She has 6 apples she needs to get in English language arts, 2 math, 2 science, and 2 social studies. Spelling, the same thing. She'll be doing the spelling star activities. Actually, I think spelling with her is the spelling contract. She has to get 100 points. So that'll be in her folder. I'll change that. She'll be required to do Study Island this year, and that won't roll out until October. So in the meantime, don't worry about this. It is required by Epic, but they wait until they get their map data for that. She has her extra math of 5 minutes per day, her academic vocabulary as well, reading 20 minutes a day. When you log into A plus for her, on top of these 4 legs here, building vocabulary, language usage, reading, and writing, it'll also have A plus KC level 1, and that's keyboard companion. And it's just an extra part of language arts, but it really teaches them to type. So I'd love for her to work in there as well, and that will be extra credit. It's not really part of the language arts. It's really teaching them to do typing along with a little bit of language arts. So she has that as well. Brain pop for extra credit, and then handwriting. Don't know if you guys thought about doing cursive with her. Handwriting without tears for cursive is great, and I think that might be a fun book for her. It's only, I think, about $10, and as I put in the email, you have $554, woohoo, now in your learning fund. So I'd be more than happy to order that for you, and one for Aslan for her grade level if you'd like to do that. Okay, and then Raya. Raya has a lot this year. So the English language arts is going to work the same. She'll build in vocabulary, language usage, reading, and writing. And she needs to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 apples a week in that. 2 math, 2 science, and 1 social studies. 5th grade social studies is U.S. history. And she has a state test in all 4 of these subjects this year. Okay, you should have got the Spectrum writing book, 5th grade Spectrum writing book in the mail. Hopefully they processed that and you got that in the mail for her. And she's going to do 2 lessons in there a week. You can take a picture and email them to me or text them to me, or you can scan them to me, or I can check them when she comes, when I come visit. She's also going to be required to do a monthly writing prompt, and this is just to prepare her for the writing test. I'd like for them to do a graphic organizer, an outline, a rough draft, and then a final draft. She can send me each component on Friday to be graded. That's what I have one student doing, or she can give it to me all at one time. So you can scan and email this to me. You can take pictures with your phone and send it to me, or I can check it when I can. But these prompts will be included in her folder. She also has book reports October, January, March, and May, and her book reports can pretty much be over these books that I'm requiring her to read. All my 5th graders are required to read the Rush Revere books, and I checked with the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Library, and they have a lot of these, so you can just check them out of the library. These should hit every single U.S. history topic that she needs to know, so that's why I'm having everybody read them, and I want them read by March 31st. And she can also do her book reports on them, and this can also be included in her 20 minutes of reading per day. I did a suggested timeline of having the first one done by November 15th, the second one January 31st, and the last one March 31st. And then extra math for her as well, just 5 minutes per day. I only let her do 5 minutes per day, and then I get a weekly report on who hit their goals. Academic vocabulary for her as well, 1 in each subject area per week. Brain pop is extra credit, and then they're reading. Okay, so that is their schedules, and I will get all that stuff to you in pretty folders. Next week I'm sending you their basic logins now for A+. I don't think they have any supplements that they've ordered, so but any of the other things that Epic normally gives you included in with all the fees is not set up yet. But as soon as I get that, I'll give you a login sheet to put in the folders. I was going to just show you when you go, I said give you a link, and so it should ask you to download something, and it looks like this when you download it on there. So then they'll just double click on that, you say run, and then it pulls up this screen. And so I was going to log in as Raya and kind of show you what it looks like. So all their logins are the first 4 of their, the first, 4. Hers is only 3-letter name, but normally the first 4 of their first name, the whole last name, and then the birthday. And then the password is epic1234. Please don't change the password just in case I ever need to log in as them. And then just press login. Okay, and they can go in here to their lessons. And you can pick which lessons you want to work on. Okay, and then when you pick a lesson, just make sure they work in order. We're going to go to dictionary first, and then I'll bring up the lesson. And like I said, they can always go back into the lesson and back into the practice test as many times as they want. They can only do the mastery test 3 times until it locks it if they don't get an 80%. And then we'll decide, do we want to just call that done and give them an apple, or do we want to give them more attempts? Okay, so then they just go through the lesson. When they're done, they press stop, and I'll bring them back to this select an assignment if they want to go do something else. You press stop again. I guess that completely logs you out. But you can go into the progress at any point and see what they did, when they did it, and their score and things like that as well. I do grades every Saturday and Sunday, so you'll be able to log in probably by Sunday night and see their grades and their progress and how they're doing, and we'll go over that at our meetings as well. So I hope this helps. Please let me know a time to come by and drop off their folders next week so we can get them started. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.